So this is FPS games are about to die by basically homeless.
And so I'm gonna click into the game, and I'm not. And so I'm gonna click into the game, and I'm not touching the mouse right now.
Oh, dang.
So if it's got a plus on it, it's identified that as a target.
Dude. You might have recently seen an article about a new machine learning hack and how they work on any console, any platform, undetectable, powered by AI. There's videos of it working, going viral on Twitter. Every gaming news company has an article on it, and this immediately had all of my attention.
Yeah, again, this stuff is absolutely insane. The level of how crazy hard it is to detect an AI versus a human is getting to the point where actual governments are having to figure out ways to detect it, right? And one of the major ways is using AI versus AI. That is, in essence, what this guy is trying to achieve.
It's bad. So everyone kind of gets that these hacks are a big deal, but I'm not sure the magnitude of what these hacks entail is really understood, or what it means for the FPS genre as a whole.
Again, FPS games are single-handedly the easiest type of game to cheat in, right? It's a point-and-click adventure game. And when you introduce this level of cheats, it turns into the point of like, why doesn't everyone just use it at this point? Right? It's like, I'm not advocating for cheats, but that's what it turns into, is if Billy next door and Billy Sue everywhere is cheating, then you're just going to be at the disadvantage.
The few days that it's taken me to edit this video, Activision has scrubbed the internet of these files. That in itself testifies to the threat this technology has on the industry. More on this at the end of the video. I wanted to get my hands on the files themselves to see if I could go through and find out if what I thought was happening. And I found out. Through some connections, I sourced the files. At the time of recording this video, based on what I can see where it's originating from, there's only about 500 people utilizing these right now. But if there's anything we know about the internet, it's about to spread like wildfire. It is the internet combined with undetectable hacks that work on any console and any game. I mean, if you thought FPS games were dry right now, bruh, it's about to get wild out there. You might be just like, oh, this is aimbot. I've seen aimbot before. Let me explain why these are different. This type of hack is only possible in recent years, like with the computing power we have now. It's not detectable. It's not stoppable by any realistic means. The entire FPS genre is about to get hit.
Again, there is no anti-cheat out there capable of discerning human versus AI. It's just not a thing because it's never been a problem before until the last, what, 3-4 years? Seriously. I like those glasses. Yeah, they're pretty stylish. He's got some good fucking style compared to me, seriously.
Really hard. A standard aimbot works by intruding upon the game file to get the player's location and snap the target. You know where they are. You can spectate someone and see.
Yeah, because an aimbot requires you to inject parts into the memory, right? And then there's like pixel aimbots, and it gets a little weird where you can only target like specific shades of things. It gets really in-depth, right? But the main type of aimbot is a type of aimbot that injects itself directly into the code, whether it uses direct 3D or whatever. It uses the game's graphics API to figure out and target, right? And it uses a bunch of internal memory that the game has, like player location, position, things like that.
This person's hacking, right? It's not hard to tell that that person's hacking. And aside from that, because it's using the game files themselves, you got things like BattlEye, Valorant Vanguard. Now, these hacks are still plaguing games like Rainbow Six Siege, Warzone, PUBG. I mean, they're unplayable at times, but a majority of the time, you'll still be able to play and have some decent fun. I'm here to...
PUBG? What the fuck?
Anymore. You can't. All that's left in PUBG is what is going to be the entire FPS genre. They give you a terrible experience, and overall, the player stops playing the game, moves on to something else where there's less hackers. So let me break down how this new machine learning AI hack works to help you understand why I'm being so dramatic about this. First things first is these are not like normal hacks where you just click mouse 1 and it snaps the target and kills them, or even just snaps the target as soon as they're in view and kills them without you doing much at all. These have the deception of making you feel like you're actually good at the game, which is a whole nother video in itself of how dangerous these are. It's like an ultra aim assist and can be fine-tuned to be as hacky as you want. It can be snap to target and kill them in 50 milliseconds, or it can be just assisted enough to where you're probably going to win the gun battle unless the other person is just cracked out of their mind. So these work by actually looking at what's happening on your screen via a capture card and then deciding where the enemies are on your screen and then
Yeah, that's a major fucking problem. It's okay, like you play a lot of controller. It's like reticle friction in reverse. So imagine if you're not moving your crosshair and there's a guy over here, the crosshair will move to it. It's reverse reticle friction, essentially. That is like the easiest, most digestible way to talk about it. This guy uses aim assist as the term. That's essentially what aim assist is reverse reticle friction. I mean, you know.
Inputting movement based on where the enemies are and shooting them for you. Because of the way they work with a capture card, you can run it on a totally different system. So I've got a 2 PC setup here. I could be playing Valorant on my gaming PC. My capture card that goes through to watch my streams, twitch.tv/basically homeless. It uses that information and an NVIDIA capture card to scan what's happening on the screen. It does that with Python, which I've been using a lot recently in a lot of my other videos. So you've got your capture card in Python running on another computer, scanning where the enemies are. And then it uses a device called a Titan 2 to then take that information and input into the game however it sees fit. This device,
I haven't even done much research on those like AI devices. They're sold everywhere now. You can get them at fucking GameStop, okay? And it's I have to do more research into it, but essentially that's what's running the AI program on it.
all it does is confuses the computer into thinking it's a controller, and that's not detectable because of the nature of how it runs on another system and then inputs through this. When I plug this into the computer with the settings that I want, it shows up as an HID device, which is then able to put in... Dude, this is crazy. An HID device is a human interface device. And so you've got a computer using human interface device. Bruh. It's like Skynet levels of hacks for FPS
Holy
games.
shit.
The best way to put it is like, imagine I'm sitting here gaming, but then it's not me. It's literally a computer looking at my screen, holding the mouse, and gaming. But at inhuman
this guy isn't too great at explaining it. Essentially, what it's doing is it's taking the direct graphics feed, right? So you know how when you plug a cable in from your graphics card to your monitor, there's going to be a little bit of input delay, but it's like 1 millisecond. You can get most good monitors at a 1 millisecond level delay. That's essentially what it's doing. Is you have a graphics card, you have a capture card, and you have that third party, he called it a Titan. There's multiple different variants of it. But anyways, you have the graphics card plugged into the capture card, or it's more like the capture card is plugged into the graphics card. That takes the direct feed, that same connection that is going from your graphics card to your monitor, and it's feeding that graphics feed into that Titan device, which has AI software on it, essentially. And that software is being run through a neural network that you can tune and adjust real time on the secondary PC to adjust how realistic you want it to be. So the anti-cheat just thinks you're on controller? No, it can't detect it because there is nothing being done to the game to detect. That is the major problem with this. There is nothing that you are doing to the game that makes it detectable, right? With a cheat, you have to inject some sort of code or mess with the game in some way. With an AI that is ran on a different computer entirely, there is no way to detect it. This all sounds expensive. The capture card will run you, what, 180? I don't know how much the Titan is. I believe they're like, what, 100 as well? But the issue, he's going to bring it up in this video. I guarantee it. The issue isn't that. The issue is you have these streamers who are coming into these games and are acting legit, right? They're trying to act very like legit, and they're building a stream following off this, right? They're building a massive following, right? If you're good at a game, no one's going to care. If you're excellent at a game, no one's gonna fucking care. If you're a pro at a game, everyone's gonna fucking care. Okay? You look at Warzone, and you see these top-level streamers getting caught every day for cheating. And that's a problem, right? And when they get to that level, people don't just stop watching them. They're just like, oh, well, it's just a game, guys. Don't get super fucking upset about it. It's like the whole dream shit, okay? And even then, that's a little bit more complicated and politically fucking charged. But anyways, the whole idea is it is absolutely undetectable because there is nothing it is doing to your game to be detected.
Of gaming. You see what I'm saying? I'm going through all these articles, and it doesn't look like they understand the magnitude of these. except for one guy. Freaking one guy, Steven, man. Look at this guy, Steven. They don't reside on the host machine, like we've said. It's running on a different system completely than the game's running on, so you can't detect that. It works on any game because it detects, like, if there's a character running around that looks like an enemy, it can learn what the enemies look like and pick them out of your screen better than you can. Better than any human would be able to. You can detect if a computer has a capture card, right? But then you can't just ban everyone that has a capture card. I mean, Valorant Vanguard cannot detect this. Your favorite streamer could be using this right now and not get banned for it. And because it doesn't just snap to target, it uses an aim assist. You can't see that from a viewer standpoint. It just looks like.
And again, I don't want to focus too much on it. This is why a lot of PC gamers right now are trying so incredibly hard to ban the use of controllers in competitive play, or just ban the other way around. Halo. Let's take a look at Halo. They're going to have cross-input play at a pro level. Do you know how easy it is going to be to do what this guy, or not what this guy is doing, what the guy he's showing off doing in Warzone to do on Halo? That is going to quite literally kill Halo if they don't have a solution for this. And again, like you said, only about 500 people, or I don't know why I air quoted that, about 500 people actually have this, right? That's at the time of this video. When was this video uploaded? July 13th. I guarantee you way more fucking people have their hands on this shit by now. Whether it's only increased by 500 or 1,000, that's still 500 or 1,000 people out of the entire population, right? That ruins games. Like, that might seem like a really smart amount, a small amount, but it's not. It really is not.
Whoever's using it.
Because the problem becomes is when you start suspecting someone is cheating, then you're going to be more inclined to download cheats yourself because you're like, oh, this guy's cheating. I wonder how many more people are cheating. So that leads into, well, if everyone's cheating, maybe I should be cheating because I'm put at a disadvantage. It's very, there's a lot of psychology behind this stuff, and it's crazy how problematic it is.
Impossible to detect it, right? If I was standing over your shoulder, I could view and see that you're using it, obviously, but it's not very realistic to you can't battle eye representative, one for each household. No.
But anyways, the problem is, and I feel like he's really about to get into this. The problem is, if you have a player of low skill who gets a big following using this software, right? And then let's say they move into a streamer house. Obviously, they can't use that fucking cheat anymore, right? People are going to know immediately what the fuck that shit does. Like he was saying, people could walk in and see this guy's cheating. Okay? The problem isn't that. Low skill players, when they cheat, they're typically very fucking blatant about it. It's when you get a player of high skill who wants to get that extra edge, right? To ensure they have the top tier gameplay compared to Jimmy down the street. Okay? Because Jimmy down the street, while he's getting a 2, a 3, a 4 KD, I'm getting a fucking 12 KD, and more people are going to be inclined to watch me because I'm fucking better at the game. I think my shirt is on backwards. No, it's not. It looks fucking like it's choking me. And that's the problem, right? No one cares about Lil Jimmy with the 4 KD. Everyone cares about Lil Timmy with the 12 KD.
Like, that's just not, so it's possible, not probable at all. So how do you detect this? There is research to show that a machine learning anti-cheat could detect the small, minute movements that make this inhuman. A machine learning anti-cheat that's running on everyone's system. But keep in mind, that is gamers trusting in big companies like Activision and Ubisoft to develop a machine learning anti-cheat that counters this one.
Not gonna do it.
In a timely fashion that makes them zero money for the benefit of the player's experience. I can't even say it with a straight face. You want to take resources away from everything that makes you money and microtransactions and skins and stuff. So.
And on top of that, games like Counter-Strike actively go on sale, so the cheaters will stock up on thousands. Maybe not thousands. That's a little unrealistic. They'll stock up on hundreds of accounts, though.
That more people will have fun. That's why this is such a big deal. And I don't know what happens if every game has a huge number of players using a capture card and a device. Like, what happens when everyone's hacking? It's just a big hack off. It's just a big hack off. What do you do?
Which, by the way, is actually a really good point he brings up. In Counter-Strike, there are tournaments for hack v hack is what they're called, right? And essentially, it's just 10 people, 5 teams of 5, going up against each other, running cheats, okay? And they're obviously not allowed to have certain settings on. Like, if they're fucking aimbotting, they can't have the best aimbot out there. They have to tune their settings to where they can't cheat. Like, they can't be too good of a cheater. And the whole idea is it's 5v5, it's Counter-Strike, it's hack v hack.
What do you do if it's a big hack off? All I'm saying is that throughout gaming history, we haven't really been...
Some would say, well, you can report the cheaters and they'll get banned, right? I don't know if reporting someone that's cheating may not work. CS hacker tournaments, yeah, it's crazy. It is insane.
Able to count on the AAA gaming companies to look out for what's best for the player. It's gonna be bad.
No,
it's gonna be bad. This hack marks the beginning of machine learning versus machine learning for the experience of humans in the gaming industry.
Yeah,
holy crap, dude. It's crazy what this entails for the industry. All this being said, in the meantime, enjoy gaming with your buddies while you can. I've always found this topic particularly interesting because I don't fully understand how it's fun for the person hacking. In a few places I've seen the argument.
Again, the idea, it's a very psychological thing, right? Like, you have the fucking masochist down the street. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of this fucking 0.5 KD player. But it's not necessarily always about that. Again, in most games with a good anti-cheat, you don't see cheats at a low level. You only see it at a top level. And it's because they're trying to get the edge. They're trying to build the following. They're trying to get recognized. Again, if you have a player who is good or excellent, but not amazing, and they use this cheat to get the edge, to get a following, and then like, let's say a few months down the line after they build their following, they stop using it, that no one's ever gonna fucking know. Their gameplay might drop a little, but their person, like, again, people are already watching them. They have this perceived idea in their head that they're good. And that's why these players are starting to cheat like they do.
That this particular hack won't be able to take off because a capture card is required, along with a $100 piece of hardware that acts as an input.
Oh yeah,
but
there you go.
Like experience using different inputs for games, I can tell you, you don't need a capture card and you don't need a Titan 2 device. If developed properly by someone else, all you would need is a second computer with a graphics card, which a majority of people have access to.
Yeah, most graphics cards are built in to the motherboard. What, is Intel just gonna stop having integrated graphics? Get a fucking laptop then.
In a standard video for my channel, I just felt this topic was very unique. And I hope I'm wrong, but I think we're headed for rainy days in the FPS industry. Anyway, subscribe. And right as I went to render this, I got word that Activision's legal team over the weekend destroyed, with facts and logic, the providers of this one-of-a-kind machine learning hack. But for 5 days, any old Joe could go on this Discord, donate a few bucks, and some guy named User101 would give him access to a hack that could single-handedly cripple the entire FPS genre as a whole. The fact that Activision did this confirms the insane magnitude of this technology. For now, the files and instructions of how to use this hack are on the hard drives of just a few hundred people in the whole world. So Activision...
And again, while Activision went after the cheat manufacturers, that doesn't stop the people who already have access to actually uploading it themselves. What's Activision going to do? DMCA every file hosting website that puts it up? I mean, I guess most companies that have problems already do that, but again, that few hundred people could easily turn into hundreds of thousands. I'm not even kidding. Like, it's crazy, especially with how big Warzone is.
Held back the floodgates, but for how long? A follower of the channel was able to whip up a similar program in just a few days. How long until someone else makes an improved version of this same type of hack? As you and I know all too well, the internet always wins. But this time, I don't think we want them to.
All right, so that was the first part of the video, right? He has a second video. I believe. Let's see, where the fuck is it? We can save FPS games. We're gonna react to this one too. We're gonna fucking smush it down together. So,
what would...
Okay, shut the fuck up, Linus. This is We Can Save FPS Games by Basically Homeless, Part 2. This is the second part to the video.
What would you give up in order to have no cheating in online games?
Bro, what kind of cheats are these?
Oh my god. Look at how he moves around. Look at how he's looking around. Look at that.
Again,
Task manager. Control delete. Oh my.
again, these people who are cheating are fucking low tier Andes 0.2 KD fucking idiots getting caught, okay? They're not the fucking problem, right? Because you'll always be able to tell those people. They don't know how to fucking play the game.
He's leveled up from level 1 to 19 just cheating and hasn't been banned.
Ricochet.
I mean, imagine if this Ricochet anti-cheat doesn't work.
Because cheaters are everywhere.
Again, they're fucking stupid. They're fucking stupid. Ricochet, maybe a little bit of mitigation. I really don't get why they didn't go with like industry leading anti-cheats for Warzone. That's fucking ridiculous.
And lobbies get DDoS every fucking time.
Bunch of hackers.
He'll be in the pro scene, in fact, or banned.
What?
This guy, actually, fun fact, again, I could be wrong on this. This guy here, the story behind him cheating, turned out he actually wasn't cheating. He was actually just legit. But anyways, this guy was using spacebar to shoot with the Guardian from Valorant, and they had to manually ban him. He wasn't even banned by the anti-cheat, right? But he was playing at a top level using the Guardian. That's just a fun fact.
That's the joy out of it. It's not fun anymore.
Recently banned for cheating at a LAN tournament.
Tim, can you comment and address the Z-Laner accusations?
Whether he did cheat or he doesn't, there are still many people out there who think he's a legit cheater.
If Shroud was actually a cheater,
People are saying these guys are hacking when obviously they're just very good. Some of these accusations can be thrown around, can really impact people where them being good is the reason that people watch them.
Every esport, every game out there does have false bans. Certainly, it is suspicious. Will we ever know the truth?
And again, the cheating has gotten so bad that in Counter-Strike, a lot of new, like, pros are stagnating, right? Because a company, like a major esport company, cannot take the risk of onboarding a new talent and face the risk of them cheating. The risk versus reward in that situation is always better for that company just to fucking not pick up the new talent. So it leads to this sort of like, it leads to this enclosed environment. And there's not much people can do about it because, again, there have been literal organizations that have lost their entire reputation. I'm talking about Titan. Titan Gaming lost after Kukli got banned for cheating. They literally lost half of their sponsorships. They weren't pulling in any money. They were losing money. They went bankrupt, all because one guy cheated.
To know for sure.
Yeah.
That no one, because that's the big problem, right? Is the second there's reasonable doubt, it like corrupts the entire experience.
It's true.
(1988) Seoul Olympics 100-meter dash. Everyone ready and anticipating world record level running. Everyone's standing on the starting line, jacked out of their mind, jaws sticking out, braces, bro. Yeah, dude. I'm not juicing, I promise I'm not juicing. 9.79 world record shattered. Unbelievable levels of athleticism. Unbelievable! Gold medal for Canada. Until, yeah, guess what? Ben Johnson stripped of his
Cheating.
gold medal for testing positive of performance-enhancing drugs.
Urine sample of Ben Johnson was found to contain the metabolites of a banned substance.
Actually, 6 of the 8 guys that were running geared up, bro. Injecting horse urine. Imagine being one of the 2 guys
6 out of
that
the
was
8,
actually
by the
legit.
way.
Like, man, they were all so good. I didn't do too bad for not being on steroids.
Again, this is what I said earlier, right? It's getting to the point where people are cheating at a top level because they need to get the edge, because little Jimmy is cheating and their gameplay can't look bad because their entire following is based off them being good.
Steroids. Either that or they were just so jacked up on Mountain Dew they couldn't provide a urine sample. They're just like, sorry, I haven't peed in months. I can't pee in that cup, sorry. Human decision making is oftentimes like water. It takes the fastest and easiest route to the bottom, the path of least resistance, the bottom being incentive, and the incentive usually being money. It's always money, or one of the things that leads to money. And if you don't do it, someone else will beat you there. So you
Yep.
might as well join me, or at least that's what your flesh might lead you to believe. But the truth always comes out, one way or another. And on the horizon is war. The history of the gaming industry is about to be laid bare. Something is being developed, a program that goes beyond gaming, beyond this channel, and beyond YouTube. With your help, light will be shed on subjects that have been debated for years. With the internet's support, we will know and see the truth about player versus player.
This is groundbreaking,
I really like the
by the way.
steroids.
Again, the actual sample size they need is in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, to some degree.
Its comparison to hacking in games today. Steroids-like hacks come in all different shapes and sizes. You have many, many different compounds to choose from that all perform the same function of giving you a competitive edge. The technology for creating these compounds is researched much more than the technology for catching them, due to incentive. How much more enticing is it for an athlete to gain an advantage and get power and money and fame? And then the testing facility is just like, oh yeah, if we catch someone, we've got to
strip their
an
medal.
Olympian of their medal and make a big deal out of it.
So much,
They're
so
like a
much.
Karen. It's a big Karen. While the people making steroids, jack, dude, inhuman level of strength, jack. What are the incentives? Power, fame, money, all clear reasons an athlete might look for an edge. And the marginal difference between a top 1% athlete and complete irrelevance could be nullified by a PED. So if you're a top athlete,
like I said, 0.2 or 2 KD Jimmy, 4 KD Jimmy getting outshined by 12 KD Timmy.
why not? Everyone else is probably doing it. 6 out of the 8 dudes in 1988 were doing it. With competitive gaming hacks, you have a similarly large number of choices when it comes to ways to gain an unfair advantage. Trigger bots.
Again, it got so bad in Counter-Strike that there was a time where no one was sure if others were cheating, right? Sub-Rosa, perfect fucking example of people trying to fucking call him out for cheating. You had massive waves of people saying Sub-Rosa was cheating, right? Wasn't cheating, okay? But these people, it just got to the point where they weren't sure. You know, better be safe than sorry. Report Sub-Rosa, right? Kukli got banned. Few other bans after Kukli. How do we know that other pros aren't cheating?
Pixel bots, recoil macros.
It's like it's obviously like in Counter-Strike, the chance of like an actual pro cheating is so fucking low, right? It's already so fucking low. But it's the fact that Kukli got caught. It spread this idea of it corrupted people in a sense, right? And especially with how bad skin betting was. It wasn't bad then because, you know, iBuyPower already got fucked. But that was a very major concern of players who were watching. It's like, oh, is Shroud cheating? Oh, is Sub-Rosa cheating? It's like, obviously they're not cheating, but it's already spread that doubt.
You name it, and more recently hacks that powered by AI, input to a computer from a separate piece of hardware, making them nearly impossible to detect by any realistic means. You probably at least got recommended the video. The comment section mentioned cloud gaming is a way to get around this. It's not. It's frame analysis. Doesn't matter where it's coming from. It's coming from the cloud, for your own computer. Doesn't matter. This type of tech won't be countered by AAA titles for a long time. Time. Gaming also has similar incentives to being a professional athlete. Gaming hacks used to be short-lived bouts of enjoyment for some guy who just doesn't
God, look
care
at how
anymore,
bad cheating in
and
Modern
that was
Warfare
it.
2
It's
is.
not that
Holy
simple.
fuck.
Gaming
Get
as an
no clip.
industry is growing exponentially. The incentives for being good at a video game used to be bragging rights to your buddies. Now it's a career, money, fame, and the amounts that you can get out of the industry are more and more each year. So you want to be better at video games? You don't even have to put your health in jeopardy. Are you a top 10% gamer but just not good enough to be pro? It's cheap, it's not illegal, you're in the safety of your own home. What do you got to lose? Might as well give it a shot, right? The entirety of punishment would be a slap on the wrist. Make another account. Change your username and start over. When you have an incentive like this, without any consequences of cheating to get that incentive, what did we think would happen? Aside from just competitive play and fame, it's incredibly lucrative to sell hacks.
Again,
it's full-on
it's like... I love that he showed that clip. Again, there are just instances like this where people get caught, right? And then it's like,
fame.
oh my god, it's just so dumb.
Lucrative to sell hacks. It's a full-on industry now to hack video games. It's an industry within an industry. Not even just selling the hacks so people can use them, selling in-game items, currency. And then on
That's
top of
Starkov,
that,
by the
we
way.
all as gamers make fun of people who claim someone's hacking, which, you know, a lot of times you're just trash and they were better than you. But it seems like you have two groups of people. You have one who's like, dang, there's so many people hacking now. I'm not, maybe just not getting worse. And then another group of people that are like, no, everything's fine. There's no hacking.
8 minutes of BS. Yeah, you're just bad, dude. Get good. Hey, get good. Hey, hit the Kovacs, dude. That guy's just cracked.
I got a recoil macro and I know where everyone is. So you're just bad.
Yeah.
Whether you want to believe it or not,
you're just shit.
Huge amount of players are hacking. It's not just hacking, it's just to gain some sort of an advantage online.
Holy
and that's
fuck.
not accounting for the new machine learning cheats that help you aim.
That's
And if you
already
think
existing
those haven't
cheats.
taken off yet. There's Discord bots that go around and are automatically inviting people, if you're playing the game, to join the Discord and download the hacks for like $4. In my previous video, I talked about how that you gotta have 2 PCs and you gotta have a specific input device. You can make it all run on one PC, it's just slightly more detectable, but even then, right now, they're not detected. Tons of casual players are getting aim assist powered by AI with their graphics card. Just like extreme aim assist while you're playing with a mouse. And if you're even slightly careful, you just won't get caught, or at least for a long time. And then if they do, they just make a new username, download the game again. Even with my limited experience, it would be fairly simple to take like this keyboard and load onto it a file that when you plug it into a computer, these AI-powered machine learning hacks just fire
take
up
off.
headless on
They
the
just
computer.
go.
You can't see it. It doesn't show up on the screen. It's just an aggressive aim assist. Do you want aim assist on your mouse at your $500,000 LAN event?
Again, I described it as like reverse reticle friction. Aim assist is probably a better way to describe it, but it's also like, I mean, it is aim assist. It's an aimbot.
With very, very low chances of getting caught. And I've heard anecdotally of the amount of hacking that actually happens at LAN events, the amount of cheating that goes on. I mean, if I'm capable, I know there's many, many more that are capable and willing and in a position to do that.
Yeah.
Product of this quickly growing incentive with no consequence is a new rise of this moral-free, scummy market. It's human nature. Party to any weird, scummy, internet-based market is a team of thousands of weirdos on the internet. Because of this, hack and cheat development has quickly outpaced anti-cheat development. This has
I can't look at that shit. That's fucking ridiculous.
You can dominate the elite top players of a game in their game, ruining all semblance of fun, competition. Activision, EA, etc. They'll catch up eventually. But if we want to exit the dark ages of FPS games, we have to take things.
And again, this is focusing on FPS related issues, right? There are some games that are just infinitely harder to cheat in than others, like Rocket League. What the fuck are you going to do in Rocket League? Infinite boost? That shit's super detectable. You get into games like MOBAs, like League of Legends or Dota, there are already scripts, as they're called, that are automatically dodge, and they do the math on, oh, this projectile can only move this fast and he's aiming it here, so I got to move this way to move out of it, right? Like cheat, like it's not mutually exclusive to FPS games, and I think he's pushing the idea of FPS games really hard. It's not just FPS games. Let me fucking tell you, this shit is rampant in so many different other games.
Into our own hands. Thousands of weirdos on the internet will always beat the corporation. There's no battle. There's lots of weirdos out there. The corporations only have so much money. Hacking in FPS games is no longer just a little bit of fun for some loser at home. For more and more people every day, this is their chance to make money playing video games. Point is, it's not just a game. And it's been a long, long time since it's been just a game.
Yeah. The rise of closet
Imagine
cheating.
someone showing up to the Olympics and they're just absolutely stacked, dude. Clearly inhuman, HGH, like, that wouldn't cut it, obviously. Similarly, imagine a pro at LAN aimbotting, just shooting everyone through the walls.
Nope.
Obviously, that doesn't get them to the incentive. But see, cheating and hacking has been fine-tuned to fit the market. These AI machine learning cheats, they're fitting this market of people that are good at video games, but want their aim to just be slightly better, all while being completely undetectable for now. Or randomized recoil macros that just make you look like you're good at the game. Computerized assistance that just makes you better at the game, makes you look better. I mean, undoubtedly, it's more fun to watch competitors that are better at the game. But that's where the comparison to steroids ends. The argument of just let them use steroids is a great one. Great argument. Without delving too much into that,
great argument, guys. Back it up. Video's over. That's all we gotta do. Let everyone cheat.
Medical advancement into the display of human excellence. But see, it still has a limit. The human limit. There's a certain amount of improved focus improved muscle mass, improved physical ability that can actually happen. That's what
on a
makes
computer that
argument
doesn't
an argument
exist
at all. With hacking, it completely removes humanity.
Yeah,
it's computer
it
versus
just gets
computer.
rid of it.
I don't want to watch that. I want to play, you want to play, I want to watch someone else play. I want to see that display of human excellence, not some cheap aim assist that's coming from the computer. And so that's what the market is right now.
By the way, that clip
cheats
is
and
super
hacks
misleading, by the
that
way.
you can deny you're even using if you're some psycho on the internet. You can just say, hey, I'm just really good at the game. They tell themselves
it's almost like a level of narcissism that cheaters have at a top level. It's like they sort of somehow convince themselves that they're that good and they've always been that good. It's not the cheats. They can turn the cheats off anytime they want. That's the level that we're getting to of cheaters being at a like a mid to high level that pushes them over the edge. That's what that is.
they're not using any cheats or hacks and believe they're competing at the highest level. Trigger bots
yeah,
that make your reaction
exactly.
time in the top 1%. Aim that puts you against professionals and it goes unchecked. For how long? Until they win some LAN events? Until they're a full-time streamer? Until there's tens of thousands of people watching them? This market
and by the time that's already built up, you think people are going to stop watching them after they cheated and got caught cheating? No. You're going to get the fucking people going in their chat, oh, you cheated, blah, blah, blah. The only way that's going to stop is if Twitch starts retroactively banning these people who are caught cheating, right? I think that is a fucking terrifying perspective that Twitch needs to implement, right? Take away someone's livelihood if they didn't earn it and they didn't deserve it. Because if you cheat and you get a following off cheating and then you turn off the cheats and you are already like a high level player, you shouldn't have that following to begin with. And I think Twitch needs to retroactively ban these people.
Transforming to fit this desire of performance enhancing drugs for video games, which means the anti-cheat needs to transform as well. And here and now is where it transforms with your help. You see, I have one more comparison. A comparison that should send shivers down the spine of any person who's ever used computerized assistance and said, this is me, displaying my expertise. Or any player who's ever cheated at LAN. Anyone who's ever closet hacked and put that on the internet should now be worried. In 2008 at the Beijing Olympics, athletes' urine samples were tested for a few chemical compounds that were prevalent at the time, but then stored and preserved. In 2016, they were retested with new and improved testing procedures. The IOC revealed that 31 unnamed athletes' urine samples tested positive for steroids that were previously deemed clean and fair. These athletes competed at the highest level.
That's insane.
While cheating.
31.
And thought they got away with it. I'd like to submit to you the idea that every piece of gameplay footage on the internet.
Hey, how many of those people actually were medal winners though? Again, they were undisclosed, they were anonymous. How many of those people were actually medal winners? Again, the goal of cheating while like streaming or like trying to prove you're a top player isn't to win, it's to convince others and even kind of convince yourself that, hey, I'm actually this good at this game. That's the point of it, and that's the problem.
Internet is the urine sample. Every streamer, every YouTuber, every recorded LAN event has footage of gameplay. And every movement, every decision, every little bit of input into a game creates on-screen data. And the same way these new machine learning cheats analyze that gameplay data to assist someone, we're going to use to test the urine samples.
Waldo.vision. This was the AI anti-cheat, like the open...
Somebody had to do it. Warzone, new anti-cheat. That's cool. That's great. It's not enough.
Not gonna do shit.
It's not even close. It's comedic. If a 14-year-old can go on the internet with $4 and totally swindle your anti-cheat, it's not working. It's comedic and it's not working. Like a billion-dollar industry dented by some dude whose frontal lobe isn't even fully developed. Not even close. Imagine your little brother can go in the other room, fire up his computer,
like
and string snipe the Olympics. I don't want to sound dramatic, but that's what this is. Homie just tripped Usain Bolt and then walked to Wiener Schnitzel after for a hot dog and some cheese fries. They call it using the chair. I was a legit 3KD player before I started using the chair. My goal is not to just spout you all this doom and...
He's just cracked, dude. He's got the better chair. Hey, that's why I'm still on the wood racer. That's why I'm unknown as fuck. I got the wood racer. I haven't upgraded to the fucking DX racer like this motherfucker and like all the cheaters out there. That's why I'm an unknown Andy, baby.
Boom for clicks on the internet. I have a plan to fight the hacks. Just as the market is transformed, so will the anti-cheat.
Okay.
Right here. With the help of someone I met because they are a viewer of the channel, already in development is a program named Waldo. A completely open source visual anti-cheat that can determine from gameplay footage alone if someone's legit or machine assisted. In case your mind hasn't already flashed the implications before your eyes, I'll break it down for you. Once completed, Waldo will be able to analyze gameplay footage and use the same.
I was wondering why you were using a wooden chair. Hey, listen, the wooden chair, it's not for aesthetic. It's not for anything like that. You know Goku, how he wore those weighted clothings in Dragon Ball Z? That's the wood racer right here, baby. It is my shackles. It's my spiritual shackles, like a Yu Yu Hakusho, dude. Once I upgrade out of this, I'm going to be a fucking god, let me tell you. That's when they're going to have to start uploading my clips to Waldo.vision, because I'm telling you, people are going to think I'm cheating all the time. It's the wood racer, dude. It's the power
of AI hacks.
Look at Tyler 1. He still hasn't fucking upgraded. He's still on the fucking wood racer. Actually, I don't know if that's true. But anyways, fucking wood racer, baby.
Determine if the player in the footage,
the kitchen chair,
is hacking or being assisted by a machine with extreme certainty. It will be able to detect if the recoil control or mouse movement is from a user, a human, or from a machine. All these streamers that are popping up that are just cracked out of their mind, just way better than everyone, will be able to determine if there's a little assistance behind that.
Is it good for posture? Hey, listen, cut the feed. We don't need to talk about that then.
There's accusations that go back, way back. There's been conspiracy videos, things that really gain some traction.
Does he show who I think he's gonna show?
Truth of the history of the gaming industry. The concept is that once it's completed, it functions as a website where anyone, you included, can upload a piece of gameplay footage. A bunch of data metrics are returned, and from that data, the server processes the likelihood of the user in the footage using a recoil macro, machine.
Again, I have a few issues with this system. Number one, I don't know how they're going to be able to tell like DPI and sensitivity and all that, because that is very important when it comes to recoil control to some degree. A lot of people think that recoil control is just something you practice over and over again until you're really good at it. And that is true to some degree, but people with higher levels of sensitivity and slash DPI have an easier time controlling recoil and aiming versus someone on a lower sensitivity, right? There are advantages and disadvantages to both higher and lower sensitivity, but when you're controlling recoil, having higher sensitivity is often always more advantageous than having a lower sensitivity.
Assist, anything. This would be released to the internet.
Apex is really fucking good proof of that, by the way. Look up Apex. Fuck, I can't think of what it's called, but you can run sensitivity so incredibly high that if you shake your mouse while aiming, your recoil gets diminished to almost zero. And that's specifically Apex though, but there are other examples out there.
Any clip from any point in time from any creator. When you spectate someone and try to determine if they're cheating, you're trying to detect a pattern that differs from what you know as human. This new market of cheats produces a pattern that you and I can't see, but a pattern that humans can't see. A well-trained machine can. Normal anti-cheat running on a user's system can always be lied to, even at a kernel level. This is why it's not possible to make this type of anti-cheat open source. If hackers have free access to how an anti-cheat works...
Oh, my bad. I thought this was open source. I'm a fucking idiot. Never mind. Never mind. Fucking nope, sorry.
It's immediately useless.
Yeah.
Waldo's significance is that it's visual and looking at the end result. It cannot be lied to. It does not matter if hackers know how it works. Meaning a superior crowdsourced anti-cheat is finally possible. And I need your help.
Okay, never mind. It is open source. Disregard what I just said. Re-roll it to the previous statement I said before the one I just said.
You are right now. Join the war. We need programmers, people skilled in 3D tracking, computer graphics. We're also going to need lots of gameplay footage from every game. Join the Discord.
Again, hundreds of thousands of samples are required for this.
Is available right now and in the description. A visual AI anti-cheat has never been attempted, but the science to show that it's possible is there. So now it's up to all of us to come together and make it happen.
Look, we're gonna start seeing. We're gonna fucking get to the age where people are gonna lower their bitrate down to 1K and stream, because then they can't get caught because of all the fucking pixelation, all the fast motion. It's
leap and bound this program makes will be credited back to the developer that made it happen. And Waldo will always remain free and open source. This project, the significance of it is indisputable. This phase of the anti-cheat tackles the largest culprit of closet hacking: humanized aim assist.
And again, it's hard to do this because it requires multiple different games, and they can only check for the games that they have available, right? For Champions, this shit is going to be completely fucking irrelevant for the most part. At least I'm imagining so with how AI works. You have to have the sample of the game you want to check.
There's gameplay footage on the internet since the beginning of YouTube, since the beginning of Twitch. We have the urine samples. We always have stored right here on the internet. This video marks the beginning, the declaration of war from you and I on cheating in FPS games in a way that it's never been done before. Phase 2 is coming soon. There are next steps that go even deeper after this step is complete. It's not just a game, it's war. And the internet always wins, but truth prevails.
It's true. Again, I'll link all this shit in the description. I really do believe that this is a really fucking important, like absolutely important thing that's going to be developed. They have a website, Waldo.vision. You can go check it out. Yeah, he runs his own Discord with this, I believe, but he also has a GitHub that you can go and help out with too. Again, claimed input mouse controller. It's not up yet. Anyways, give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back real quick.